Hello, friends. Sorry, I'm in a bit of a giggle fit. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to a new video. Now, I am the Christian Robloxian, and well, I'm not on Roblox here. Well, that is simply because, I couldn't find really any good content, and I haven't been able to play Roblox much because we had to do some schoolwork and stuff. So, we're here. I tried yesterday to find ourselves some good moments and some chat games where I can spread the gospel, but wasn't able to. It was really quiet and just had to get off and stuff. So, today we're going to be doing a short video on loving thy neighbor and the enemies. So, let's get into it. I have a Google slide here. That's very, very short, 4 slides, including this one. So let's get into this. So the first slide I have here is the value of love. Well, the value of love is a very important thing when it comes, well, to loving people. We have to know why we should do it. So let's get some reasons. My first reason, or not really reason, but points. God gives us the ability to love others as a gift, just as He loves us. This is something that God gives us that we should value. The ability to feel these emotions that we have as human beings. This love is something that is pure and holy. Now, there are bad types of loves, like obsessive love, which honestly at that point really isn't love. It is a more selfish form of love, where you are so obsessed with a person where it's idolatry. The purity of love that we can see from God as He has shown us is self-sacrificing love. Love that things that you have to do that you might not want to do, things that you are not comfortable with, but things that help around the world, that help the people you love the most. The self-sacrificial love, not caring solely about yourself, but giving your time, giving your energy to other people because you love them so much. Love is not just a feeling or a thing that you fall in and out of. Love is an emotion and an action. It's something that you do, that you show. And God has shown us His love with His Son, Jesus Christ, whom saved us from all of the sin that we have, the death that we were to bear. So, or to have, not bear. So, another point is that love does lead to better society and fruitfulness. Now, this isn't really a good argument, I will say, but this is just another addition. Love is what helps us grow closer to each other and to give us a new light. We can connect with people and we can learn from each other and live and love and laugh, have fun and joy. Now, obviously, love must be held in times of suffering. There's many times of suffering that go on. If love wasn't there, it would all be meaningless, I dare say. But I say that if God wasn't here, everything would be meaningless. That is the truth. But we go in with love is something that God gives, and it's from God that He's given us. He has made us in our, He has made us in His image and likeness. So this love that we have is something that connects mankind on a deeper and spiritual level. Something that we can't really understand, and many have tried to discuss it as a chemical phenomenon, which is a very redundant take, but we won't get there in this video. And then lastly, as I said already, because of God's love for humanity, we were saved through the Son of God, Jesus Christ. Next up is why love your neighbor? Why? Why should I love Jerry down the road who keeps on telling, keeps on coming up to my front door, knocking on it every Friday morning, telling me how annoying my car is? So, let's see, we have a verse here from, or two verses here from the Old Testament in the Pentateuch, the book of Leviticus, written by Saint Moses, chapter 19, verse 17 to 18. It reads, "Thou shalt not hate thy neighbor in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord." So this is in the context here. This is the Lord speaking to Moses to tell them what he says to them, the people what he says to them as the people of Israel. So let's break this down. So initially, God says that we shall not hate a brother in our hearts, that we should not harbor that hatred in our hearts, which we will touch on a little bit later in the video. So thou shalt not in any, or thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. So this, when it says in any wise, is speaking of that love. So when you go to rebuke someone, a lot of people in modern day rebuke with anger, or with pride, or with arrogance, or with a form of a power hierarchy. I'm better than you, so I'm going to make you look like a fool. How we should rebuke is wisely and lovingly. To rebuke in the sense where if someone makes a mistake, instead of saying, "Oh, you made a mistake, who cares?" No. Or instead of saying, "You made a mistake? Yeah, you suck. You should not ever do that again. You are so bad. You're a horrible person." Rather, we should make the rebuke of, "Okay, you messed up. We have to acknowledge that, and we're going to try and build you back up. We're going to try and help you. But you cannot do that again, what you messed up." A kind but firm rebuke. And it also says that thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. So don't avenge people. If someone wrongs you or someone else is wronged, don't avenge them. For vengeance is the Lord's. And again, don't hold any grudges against the children of thy people, which is the children of Israel, their neighbors. So don't hold any grudges against your neighbor. If Tommy, he stole your Doritos, don't hold a grudge against him. His fate is with God, not with you. You cannot dictate his fate of his stealing, of his sin. And then as he says at the end, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. And declaring that, well, you have to do that. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. As you see it, as thyself. The love, not of a artificial love of externally, but when you look at yourself, I mean, a lot of people will have a weird response to this. Well, what if I don't love myself? That's a whole different thing that we can get into in a later video. But in this, you love yourself, you value yourself. So value other people, love them. You want to give good things to yourself, so give good things to other people. So let's move on to the last slide. So this last slide is an example from the New Testament. I'm going to try my best in these types of videos to have examples from both the Old and the New Testament, because there's always going to be someone who's, I'm assuming, is going to come after me and speaking that I didn't quote from the Old Testament, so it must not be, or the same, vice versa, was in the New Testament, so it doesn't matter. Okay, whatever. So, as it says here, in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 21 to 26, it reads, Ye have heard it was said of them of old time, Thou shalt not kill. And whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Racha, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence, thou till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing. So, what is this verse saying? So, in the beginning here, it says, Jesus is calling back to, as you said, the old time, how it says in the law of Moses, as those have said, over the years of Israeli history, or the um, kingdom of Israel, Judah. So, we go, it says, thou shalt not kill, and whoever shall kill be in danger of judgment. But he says that whoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of judgment. So we come back to slide 2 here. And thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Don't be angry. Don't hate. Don't do these things. If it is without a cause, you shall be in danger. And that without a cause part, we have to get into. What is that without a cause? Well, if you're gonna blindly hate someone for no reason, well, obviously that fits into that. And it also comes down to the point where you may know that someone has done something and you may hate them, but what is the cause of that? Where is the cause? Now it comes down to righteous anger and unrighteous anger. Unrighteous anger is something, as I just explained, hating someone for no reason. Righteous anger is hating, or not hating, but being angry and being upset because something righteous, holy has been neglected or harmed. Something has been gone against that is holy. You are angry and hateful to the things that attack this. Now, do not hate a brother or sister. Do not hate a neighbor. Rather, love them. Hate the sin of the neighbor, or the actions that a neighbor does of that sin. So, as it also says, do not say to his brother Racha, which I believe is an Aramaic term, and as well as thou fool shall be in danger of hellfire. So, saying these arrogant terms, be arrogant to other people, is, well, you shouldn't do that. And in the last part of this passage, it says a actually historical recall. This is Matthew writing, who bases a lot of his gospel off of Mark, who was not an exact eyewitness. He was a disciple of Peter, who was an eyewitness. So Mark wrote his gospel based off of the eyewitnesses' account of Peter. And then Matthew was also a apostle. He was a one of the 12 disciples. He was an eyewitness to Jesus. And we see that in Matthew's gospel, he bases off Mark, and then he adds what he was able to be there for during Jesus' time and what he remembers. So it goes back to giving your gift at the altar, sacrificing animals at the altar in the Israeli culture, as well. You go to the law and the Pentateuch. So it explains how you should be reconciled to thy brother. Do not offer something without going to thy brother first and being reconciled. Going to someone that you have wronged or someone that's wronged you, and do not harbor the hate because that hate is always it's going to be there. And if you don't bring it into check, well then it's always going to be harboring there, and it's going to be growing and growing and growing, and it's going to evolve into a larger sin. So then it explains if you don't, then he may send you to a judge, will send you to an officer, will then imprison you. So it's really just get that off, get that hatred and that grudge off, and you'll be a lot better off. Jesus commands us to do these things because, well, sin brews in the heart, and at this point, there was a lot of outward righteousness, but not inward righteousness at that point in Judea. So he is giving us an explanation and a representation of the internalness of our sin. So that is the entire video. There's probably a lot of things I missed. These videos I make are videos I make in my free time. Just do a little bit of studying or a little bit of prep before I do them. I thank you all who do watch this, and I pray, Lord, that the Lord sends this video to those who need it. And as always, I will end this video. I'm saying as always as if this is my second video. Anyways, um, I will say to you all, and I thank you all that you watch this video. I pray that the Lord uses me in a way that I could never think, and I pray that the Lord humbles me, that I do not be prideful of the things that I do on this channel, the things I do in my life. I pray to thee that you all are given peace this night. For me, it is night. If it is morning, it's morning. So I thank you all for watching, and I pray, it's all in Jesus' name. Amen. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. God bless you all. May peace be upon you. God bless.